Empire Waste 2024. This is a film I hadn't come across before. Seems to be fairly new. The trailer said it was out 27th of September. That was probably in the USA. It's set in America, and it's about a young woman, well, school age, so still a girl, maybe, I don't know what age, probably mid-teens, 16, 17, perhaps, maybe even slightly younger. I don't know. It stars Mia Kaplan as Lenora and Jemima Yevu as Kayla. And there's a few other characters who play significant roles, like Daisy Washington, who plays Marcy, and Holly McDowell, who plays Tina. And um, they're all classmates, and the Lenora is like the protagonist. She's the main character. She introduces herself at the start by saying that her superpower, if she wanted a superpower, would be to be invisible. And I know a lot of people who have felt like that in their lives, and I've felt like that a fair amount at times throughout my life. I mean, it's quite easy. I remember going on a course when I was about 27, and that was all about projection and self-expression, various things like that. And the people running the course, the tutors, the organisers, said that the clothes I was wearing at that time were representing that I wanted to hide, just disappear. And that's often been the case. I mean, back in those days, this was like in the 90s, I wouldn't have made videos on YouTube. It's taken a while to get confident enough to do this, considering I only started making film reviews about 3 years ago, these sort of um, um, published film reviews. And so I do know what being invisible feels like. Lenora wants to be invisible. It feels because she's a bigger person. She has underconfidence about um, her self-esteem is very low. She feels there's bullying in her school, and the bullying is often very fat phobic and body shaming, and really awful stuff. And um, she she goes one day in class. She gets paired up with Kayla, who's much more confident, and she's also bigger, and um, she is more confident. She doesn't shy away in the same way as Lenora does, and um, it's a very good pairing. Um, Now, when um, Kayla comes round to Lenora's house, um, Lenora offers her a snack or some food or something, and she's got a stash in her bedroom, hidden in her wardrobe or closet. And um, Kayla says, "Oh, let's see have you got more of them?" She sort of barges in once. I mean, not exactly. Well, kids aren't exactly always polite, are they? Oh, I want to have more snacks. Um, but then she opens the door and discovers all the clothes, that Lenore's been designing a lot of clothes, but she hasn't got the confidence to wear them, and she just it's just stuff for her dreams. She won't wear them, and that's what's the really heartbreaking stuff, because she designs all this beautiful, beautiful dresses, lovely stuff, and Kayla's the first person to recognise that. She sees her drawings and she sees the clothes, and when Lenora admits that, because Kayla Stoller thinks she's just stolen them, but Lenora explains she's designed them and created them. She's got a sewing machine, and she says, "Well, will you make me some dresses, some clothes?" And it's the start of a whole transformation, and it's so life affirming to watch that sort of stuff. So I think it's really, I mean, I would say in some ways this film is designed for a fairly young audience. It's sort of probably designed for teenagers. I felt at times it was slightly overacted, slightly twee, um, and that gets me thinking, maybe that isn't for, like, Mean Girls. I think any age group can see. I saw Mean Girls the other day again. But this kind of film is designed for teenagers, probably to give hope for um, for them to overcome shyness, introvertedness, or all that kind of thing. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being introverted, but, hiding your talents is tragic. I mean, the sooner you can realize, um, your talents and your, self, actualization, your strengths, your opportunities, SWOT analysis, the better. Um, you know, why wait until a long way into your adulthood before you discover things? If you can find out when you're in your mid-teens, so much the better. Um, and so Tina, talking of self-actualization, um, she's trans. I think. I mean, certainly Holly. I looked her up, and she's a trans actress, and her role, she's often a bit clumsy the way she's portrayed, and that's one of the things that where I started feeling, hmm, slightly overacted. Maybe they just wanted to give her a bit of a quirky personality, a lovable, dorky person. I don't know if that's necessary. I mean, maybe it helps, maybe it doesn't. I felt it might have been better without, but fine. I love this film overall anyway. And I've never come across Holly McDowell before. Um, and I think it's brilliant seeing more and more trans actors out there. All, um, there's quite a few I've seen now over the years playing trans characters and playing cis characters and playing other, anyone. Why not? But yes, this film certainly has its heart in the right place. Um, it did feel a little maybe low budget, but because it's got this body positive message, and it's like these classmates, they're dealing with bullying and hatred from some of the other classmates. There's one really nefarious bully girl called Sylvie, and there's some lads who are hateful as well. Just you know, eh, but it's just like everything going on in the USA. I mean, there's bullying at government level now, so um, you know it's not surprising to see it all the way through, but of course, this film was released before that. Um, it was released, well, I suppose it was available around last summer. It was, completed, so before they knew about, the US election results. But about, Empire Waste, the title, it's, a universal flattering, apparently universally flattering, high-waisted type of dress and, clothing that is, um, has this, waist up just below your breast area. That's Empire Waist, and I gather it isn't universal as such simply because if you've got a very curvy hourglass type figure, then you might want to show off your waist where your natural waist. Well, I don't know, is it natural waist when it's slightly lower down near, navel, belly button area? I don't know. I know that since about the age of 7, I've, loved the idea of a small waist, and it took decades to realise anything like having a fairly, the kind of waist I wanted. And it's easy to lose it again because, well, anyway, I'm not going to talk about. I mean, the whole thing about this is it's body positive, and that's what really counts. And given that I've seen this 2 days after Mean Girls and the Burn Book, that so many shades of that come across reflected in this film as well. And as I mentioned in that review, I was saying about, comparing it with a 2020s film, and here it is. Here's that film to compare it with, and I think it's really good. I'm really glad to have seen this, within the same week, within a couple of days of Mean Girls, 2004. And all the lookism and the layers of it, the way, um, like Lenora's mother behaves, I mean, she's her attitude, and that's juxtaposed with her father, who's actually more supportive. And there's probably passed on trauma when it comes to the way adults behave because children pick up from it. Your offspring, if you are so fixated about health in a way that is actually unhealthy, it isn't necessarily good. So I think films like this are actually beautiful. And when we're living in such a obesogenic, consumerist environment, um, and there's people like Sylvie, that unhealthy attitude, the policing, the way, it's untrammeled, the way people are so judgmental still. And the health is a complicated matter. I mean, Sylvie says it's unhealthy to be um, um, a big person, but um, it isn't that simple. Not everyone has a choice. It isn't as simple as people think. You know, it's not just what you put in your mouth. It isn't just exercise. People have different levels of metabolism. So, um, mother's her mother's name is Rachel. Interestingly, the mother in the last film, Short Corner, was called Mother as well. Um, there's there's quite a lot. Um, I won't go too much into it, other aspects of the film, because you may as well really watch this film. But I would say that it's worth understanding the layers of privilege of everything, and when it comes to body size, I think the middle category is the most privileged. If you're on the very slim side, or over fixated over, weight, and if you're a bigger person, they're both actually, less further down the privileged rankings when it comes to that. But that's something I'll may cover more in another film. But just to say, for this review, I'm going to score this 7.75. It was a really good film to see. Had a few, not sure about elements, but I thought it was overall very positive. I'd love to know what you think. Thanks for watching. Please like if you like, and um, thanks for subscribing. And please hit the notification button. I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.